get started on this cute congratulations on your new baby card for the Welcome Baby class. I have a piece of a standard size for Whisper White. It's going to end up with a card base of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to actually move on to this piece. And I'm not going to layer it on the card yet because I'm going to be adding a brad. So I'm going to go ahead and actually adhere the other pieces. And I'm looking at the other one, trying to get it as close as I can to what I originally created. It looks like it's lined up. And then I need to stamp this first. Everything has a certain order. So I'll be stamping it with pink pirouette. And I will be using this cute stamp from Little Additions, my favorite little baby stamp set. As a matter of fact, to get really good coverage on this, I'm going to actually ink it up this direction. On a light color, I really want it to transfer and look even. So I'm going to line this up with the grid paper. And I've also lined the stamp up using the Stampin' Up! Grid lines for clear blocks. There we go. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere this piece. Looking for my snail. Right in this corner, like this. Looking pretty good. And then I'm going to add my brad now, because otherwise it will be tougher to do. So I'm going to just pop a hole in. I use my paper piercer and my little pad from my Stampin' Up! Matte Pack. It works out great. And this buries it nice and deep so you don't feel the legs through to the front of the card. We can go ahead and next I'll be adding the buttons. Now I've created, I've already put a little bit of baker's twine on each of these. There's a white one. And you know what? If the greens aren't the perfect green, it's just fine. Oh, I got a little adhesive on the back side. It's just fine. A little bit of a mix-up. This is actually Old Olive. No problem. So I'm going to show you with the baker's twine. I love just running a little bit through. And I'm going to run it through the side. Do you notice how I'm leaving it right on here? Because that means I won't use a lot up. So I can use a very, 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 very minimal amount. See, I'm only going to end up using that much. That's awesome. And then I'm going to, rather than trying to tie it on the back side, I'm actually going to use the mini glue dot to kind of keep it in place, and it's also going to be the way to stick it to the cardstock. So it's kind of multi-purpose. I'm going to use my scissors that I dedicate just to ribbon. I know they're supposed to be for more, but this pair, that's why I have this little piece of lace on there, so I know it's my pair that I only use for ribbon and these sorts of little goodies. I think that little bit of baker's twine adds such a nice polish. Next, I'm going to work on the sentiment. It's so cute. I'm going to ink up my congratulations stamp in Melon Mambo. And again, I'm using our clear blocks and clear mount stamps with the grid lines so that I can get a pretty good read. As a matter of fact, I'm going to move this down a little bit so that I can see. I need it a little closer to me. I hope you can still see it okay on the video. And that allows me to line it up much easier. Looks good. The next step will be this little cute little bear, and I'm going to ink him up. He's also from Little Additions. I'm going to ink him up in some Pear Pizzazz. I've got a little schmutz on there. I want to do him again. must have rocked. Yep, I did. I rocked it a little bit. And I will be cropping it out with the 3/4 inch circle punch. He's so cute. And adding a Stampin' Dimensional to pop it up and just sort of tip him on this side. So cutie patootie. And now I can go ahead and I can start assembling this card. Pretty easy, but I think it's got a nice, clean, pretty look, which is always nice and fresh. You could certainly change up this card or any of these things that we're doing into blues if you want to be more sort of gender appropriate. Absolutely fine. I do see one more final touch I need to do after I get the sentiment on. And put some dimensionals here. I like doing 3. I know I could get away with doing 2, but I always worry about having what I call the saggy bottom. Like a saggy diaper. I want it to look nice all the way across. So I'm using, actually I always am using my grid paper to kind of line up in addition to kind of eyeballing things. So just so you know what I'm up to here. Oh, I'm going to lift that a little. I start talking. I know I need to learn how to do these and add the sound later, but you're hearing me as I move along. The last cute little touch, and again, I did this on another video that you may not have seen yet for the favors, but this Owl Builder Punch has the cutest little tiny heart. And instead of the little pink inked heart, you end up with something I think that looks a little more interesting. Oops. It's always a little challenge to do these little guys. Oops, I got some on there. Yay. I'll tuck any loose adhesive on there. I'm sure you've all had to do this before. I do it too. And then I'm just going to layer that on top. So I hope you enjoyed this part of the class. I think this is, again, just a great, simple card, easy to make, and is beautiful for a welcome baby theme. Thank you so much.